I'm going to be sharing with you how to choose your target audience. I cannot tell you how often I am asked the question, what should my niche be? What's the right niche? Do I have to be a business coach to make money? Can this niche make money? How do I know if this is right? Is it clear enough? Is it tangible enough? I get questions every single day on niching, and it's often one of the first things that I focus on when I am speaking to a new client. We are working on their niche and their messaging, and to be fair, rightly so, because your niche / your ideal client profile and your messaging is the foundation of everything in your business. If you do not know who you're helping, or you do know but you do not know how to clearly articulate that in a tangible way that's actually going to resonate with your potential clients, you are leaving so much money on the table. You're going to find business really hard, and it doesn't matter how much you want it doesn't matter how much action you take, it doesn't matter any of those things. It's just going to be hard. There's a lot of noise in the space. No, it doesn't matter if there are other people in your industry or if it's quote unquote saturated, because the reality is that most people are inconsistent, and so you don't have as much competition as you think you do. If you're just more disciplined, you just focus on being better, then you don't really have much competition after all, right? I've seen a lot of people go out of business in the last 6 years that I've been in business, and it's really sad. But you know, if you show up differently and better, then you will also have a better result. So I thought I would just be really transparent, and I probably won't be able to go into everything that I share with my clients, just because, like I said, it's a bit of a beast of a thing, and I often have like a full one-on-one with each client, or a member of my team does, just on this whole thing, back and forth, just on their niche. But I wanted to give you genuinely like as much of a high-level overview as I can of this topic, so you can at least ponder on some things and make some big changes if you're not clear on this, and then I can always help you at a deeper level if you would like to work together, for example. So I just shared with you why niching is important. We want to start with conducting some market research on your niche, just to make sure there is a market for this. People are paying to solve this problem. There is demand here. There is a need for it. Because if there's not, if it's very fluffy, and not dialed in, well then it's going to be really difficult to grow. So we want to have clarity over guesswork. So do some market research. Think back to your previous self. If that's who you're helping, it's a previous version of yourself. Ask yourself, did you pay for this niche? What were you struggling with? How did you articulate it? What did you actually purchase, and what did you really, really want? So you can do market research from other people that you do or do not know, but you can also think back to your previous self. You can join other Facebook groups and see what questions people are asking, see what people aren't sure about in the topic of your niche, and that can really help as well. You can look at competitors on Instagram by searching mindset coach, fitness coach, business coach, see what their I help statements are. You can see how they articulate it. You can see the size of their following, and so much more. Then you want to have conversations with people, ask people questions, give them a one-on-one, coaching session in return of them being really honest, with you. All of these things can severely help when it comes to actually growing your business. And you just want to regularly update your, niche as well, so that it's always up to date. People usually make it wrong that this takes so much time, or that they've changed their niche too many times. And definitely some people can go too far on that. And it's my aim working with a client to kind of nail it from the beginning, but do not mistake the fact that you will need to iterate it and build and test regardless. I'm always doing that in my business, and that is a very, very normal thing to do. Now, how to create your ideal client profile once you've done that market research. Your goal is to stand out as the go-to expert. You do not want to blend in with every other coach out there, and the way to do that is to become known for solving one hyper-specific problem and provide a really powerful, clear, bold, tangible solution. I can't stress that enough. People want to pay a premium to experts, not generalists. Who do you think makes more money? A general GP or a cardiologist? Obviously the cardiologist. Which one do you think works more? I'm going to bet that a GP is working those 8-hour days, whereas you often see that people at the top of their field, they're actually only available and work 3 days a week, because they actually make more money during that time that they don't need to be working every day should they choose not to, for example. So we're always going to pay for experts if it's an area that we really care about, and at the end of the day, that's who we want to target. We want to target people that are willing to pay a premium to solve a particular problem and get an outcome. We don't want to be working with or focusing on tire kickers, for lack of a better word. So your messaging should really be built around this one belief that your signature method, which is again a process that I teach my clients, is the thing that will help you know, your clients or audience get the result that they want. And if you can get them to believe that, then they're going to work with you over everyone else, so long as they like, know, and trust you, because you're the only one with that method. So I have a process called the scalable system, which is broken into seamless sales, sustainable strategy, and simple systems. Now, you have to be working with me to have that entire process, and a lot of my messaging and marketing in my content is about selling my audience on this method, because I genuinely believe in it and it's made me millions of dollars. So the moment you try and sell them on multiple things, you know, or position yourself too broadly, your sales will really start to suffer. And honestly, I can't stress this enough. The amount of people that have tens of thousands of followers and don't make any money is crazy, because it's not just about followers and audience size. Yes, when dialed in, that can play, you know, a massive positive role, but engagement doesn't mean money, for example. So it's really important to recognize that. Now, there are a lot of universal desires that people want. So you want to make sure that your niche comes under one of these, you know, universal desires. People want to make or save more money. They want to look and feel better. They want to find or maintain better relationships. They want to protect themselves, their families, and their business from loss and harm. They want to improve, upgrade, or transform lives, and they want to impress other people. So in other words, there are three main areas that people invest in: their health, their wealth, and their relationships. So you want to make sure it comes under one of those categories. Now, it's really important that your ideal client ticks a few boxes in particular. So number one is that they have to be someone that you have a true desire and passion to serve, because you will be talking to these people and about these people literally every single day. There is no way I would be here right now helping coaches if I wasn't madly obsessed with helping them, but I am. You have to be obsessed. They also have to be someone you can actually support to generate incredible results. You've got to have embodiment in it or experience in it. That is essential. It needs to be one, or ideally both of those things. People will trust you in that case, and unfortunately there's a lot of people in the industry that are not congruent with what they do. You know, there will be money coaches that are actually terrible with money and are broke, you know, but they do that because they think that that's what people will pay for, etc., etc. You want to make sure that your ideal client profile, like your dream niche, they all have a similar demographic, a similar current situation, and a similar dream situation, so that all of your content resonates with all of them, and they have to have the money to pay you. So they need to tick that box. You need to be obsessed with them. You need to be able to actually help them. They need to have a similar demographic. They need to have a similar current situation, a similar dream situation, and have the money to pay you. Now, when I talk about demographics of your niche, you don't have to unnecessarily niche. So don't niche by the gender if the gender doesn't matter. But if it does matter, then gender, like niche by the gender, you know. But if it matters, the things to look at when it comes to your demographic is their age, gender, location, race, education, job title, relationship status, or income level. You do not need all of those things, but there will be something that does, like, that is relevant, right? Now, once you've gotten clear on all those things, now it's time to get a lot deeper. I have a whole ChatGPT bot that I give to my clients that gets them this done in seconds, to be honest, and I work closely with them on this. But essentially, you need to get really, really clear on what their current situation looks like. And you need to be able to fill a page document on this if you really needed to. The better you know them, the easier it is for you to sell to them. Based on that current situation, what are the top 3 to 5 problems that they're experiencing that can be that reoccurring messaging you have within your marketing? That's going to be important. Next thing is, what does their dream situation look like? Again, do a page or a big paragraph or whatever you need to do. What does their dream situation look like? What is it they really, really, really freaking want? And make sure you're doing all of this in the way that they articulate it, mind you. I hope you're starting to see that you actually need to be embodied and experienced in this target audience to be able to do this all properly. And then based on that, you know, what are those top 3 to 5 solutions based on that big paragraph or page document that you filled out that they really, really want, just so we can condense it down to make this easier to communicate. Then I love to name your ideal client so that you're thinking of this one person. So my ideal client's name is Emily. So I ask myself, what does Emily need today? What does Emily want? What would Emily click on? What would Emily buy? That's what got me to create this video, because Emily is stuck with her niche and needs needs help with this and needs to refine her messaging. So that's what made me create this. You know, you can see how important this is. Once you've gotten clear on that ideal client profile, now we can create an I help statement. This is a one-sentence message that actually very clearly and simply and directly communicates exactly, you know, who you help. And if that is not clear, you will lose people straight away. This is the sentence that goes on all your social media bios, on your website, in your freebies, in your marketing. It's the first thing you say in videos, in events and DMs and all of the things. So your I help statement should not be general, be too long or hard to explain. Make your target audience feel like you're attacking them, saying like, I help filthy smokers, or I help drop kick parents, or I help low life drug addicts, or I help aggressive builders. Those things aren't going to make people want to work with you. But your I help statement should be specific, be straight to the point, and make your target audience feel like you understand them. This is very important. Now, there are different examples of how to actually write your I help statement. You can just say, I help target market to get what they want. I help target market to get result without the pain or obstacle. I help target market with pain point to get desired situation. Or I help target market to, you know, what they want in time frame without current objection or pain point through your method. So there are simple and more direct and more advanced ways of writing this. It's entirely up to you, but as long as you can say it in one sentence and I know straight away exactly who you help and you're positioned as an expert, you're fine. A couple of examples, I actually list like 30 different examples to my clients so they can, you know, easily create their own, but I'll just give 2 examples quickly. Or I'll give 3 examples, one for each of the 3 core areas. A wealth niche could be like a really general and broad and not good enough one would be, I help entrepreneurs grow their business and make more money. Entrepreneur is every business owner ever. Can you actually help all of them grow their business? I could give them, you know, $1 and then they've grown their business and made more money, but I'm sure that's not what you meant. So actually say what you mean. So instead it could be, I help female coaches go from $0 to $5,000 months in just 90 days through Instagram Reels. Super specific. Health niche, I help people lose weight, improve their health and feel their best. Again, lose weight could be half a kilo. Is that what you meant? Or did you mean something else? Say what you mean. Instead, it could be, I help busy mums lose 20 pounds and regain confidence without spending hours in the gym or giving up their favorite foods in just 12 weeks. See what I mean? Relationship niche, I help women attract healthy relationships and find love. I mean, doesn't everyone want that? Super broad. Instead, you could say, I help single women attract emotionally available men without wasting time on dating apps. All hypotheticals, but they're examples. You want to make sure it's short and sweet, easy to say. You don't want to use unnecessary fluffy words. So using ChatGPT can sometimes be really shit for this because it loves to throw in shitty, fluffy words. And you just want to read it out loud and literally just be honest with yourself. Does this make sense? Would a stranger understand this, even if it's not for them? Like, could you confidently say that without feeling weird or like it's too much or like you lose breath saying the sentence, you know? Just don't overthink it. You can always upgrade it over time, but just get it out there, you know? And then, like I said, you put this in all your social media bios. It's everywhere you're gonna, you know, be saying who you help, which is a lot of different places, which is why you want to nail it. You can even use money-making languaging in your niche without being a business coach. So for example, if you were a graphic designer, you could say, I help people create amazing websites and attract more customers, attract more customers, which brings in more money. So you can see how you're a graphic designer, but you're showcasing how what you do actually makes them more money. An energy healer could say, I help entrepreneurs eliminate blocks and energetic resistance to success so they can be more confident and make more money, right? A book coach, I help people write the best book they can so they can reach more people and make more money, and so forth, so forth. You can also use money languaging in your messaging by saying like, save your marriage, invest in your child's self-esteem. Good relationships are priceless. Your health is priceless. What is your health problem costing you right now? Health is wealth. Look and feel like $1 million. Invest in your health so you can spend more time with your loved ones. These are all different ways of using money-making language, which is really, really important. So you can just ask yourself to get clear on how you might use this languaging either in your I help statement or in your messaging by asking yourself, how do you help clients save money? What's the payoff of working with you? For example, if I was a relationship coach helping people to save their marriage, well, a divorce can sometimes cost $100,000. So potentially working with me isn't so expensive after all, because it's the difference between going through a messy divorce, which will not only emotionally cost you potentially years of your life, but also financially cost you. A lot of people are in shit situations after a divorce. So you can see the payoff there. What is the priceless result that you offer? What does it cost your clients not to work with you? And how does it, how do they gain from working with you? All right, so these are the things that you want to get clear on. That's really everything I have capacity to go through today when it comes to choosing the right niche for your business. And I hope that this has been a different way of experiencing or witnessing or hearing about it, so that you can have the clarity that you need to be able to move forwards. Because if you don't get this right, honestly, like, it will literally cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars and years of your business life, and ultimately mean that you quit your business, like I've seen happen countless times, because they're not able to just get the support and get this right from the beginning. If you want help with this, you want to work with me and have the full scalable system, then I would love for you to book a call with the link below, and we can chat about working together and seeing if it's the right fit for the both of us. Hope you've enjoyed this episode, and I'll speak to you next week.